Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at marketplace e-commerce. We're going to dive into this specific feature, but we're going to not only cover the feature itself and some of the benefits of this feature, we're also going to take a look at real world examples and some different iterations of this specific scenario for marketplace e-commerce. We're also going to talk a little bit about some of the permutations or iterations that you might see around this feature. And then we're going to wrap up. And if you can stick around till the end of the video, going to have an opportunity to take advantage of some complementary resources that we have available to you as it relates to marketplace e-commerce. With that said, let's dive in. Marketplace e-commerce product catalog. This is probably one of the most critical aspects of a marketplace platform. Now, what exactly is it? And then let's talk about some of the variations and look at some examples. Okay, first of all, of course, with a marketplace e-commerce platform, we're going to have a listing of products and different views. So we'll probably have a grid view and possibly a list view, for example, as you can see here. We're also going to, of course, have the product title or name. Some of the typical displays will have a short description, as well as information about the price, an inventory level potentially. Now, depending on the way the marketplace is set up, we may have specific customer pricing. And a lot of times we may set up iconography so we can see information about the seller and about the fulfillment method, for example, or the timeline to be able to receive the product, this kind of a thing. So we may, here you can see we have a minimum order amount that we're showing. We're showing information about the supplier and statistics about that particular supplier and whether or not they have certain certifications within the marketplace. And then we also have details around whether it's a sponsored listing or not. The user can add to compare. And probably one of the biggest things that we're going to want to make sure that we're doing is we're consistently driving traffic to our product catalog system and that we're making it very intuitive for the user. So we want the UI UX to be very similar to other proven UI UX experiences that users are going to have with big marketplace sites like an Alibaba, a Amazon, and other similar platforms. Now, you can see that one of the things that's also really critical here is that we have the ability to drill down into the category, subcategory level. We have counts of the items within those categories that we've selected. We can also use attributes that are specific to this subcategory that we're searching in, and then we can further refine the search. We're also going to want to be able to filter by price levels, physical location, possibly fulfillment lead times. Here you can see we're sorting by supplier information. So we're actually sorting by or filtering by their revenue, whether or not they have certain certifications. Of course, we're going to want to filter by reviews, and the list goes on. So a lot of this is going to be predicated on great filtering. We also want to be able to sort and have the ability to, in this case, you can see do some pretty interesting quick filters where the user can actually go in and say what the minimum order quantity is. And if the minimum order quantity is too high, then they're not interested in looking at that particular offer. Now, this is a grid view of a marketplace that has a request for quote process for the products that are shown on the screen. So you can see they have multiple ways to conduct this filtering, both in this top mini header and then also in this left sidebar. One of the other things that we like to point out with the catalog view is it really is a great opportunity to promote not only paid or sponsored listings, but also performance based on a feedback loop of analytics within your platform. So what do we mean by that? Well, one of the things that we can detect based on our analytics is whether or not when somebody searches for something, they seem to have found the correct item they were looking for. Now, how do we do that? Well, when somebody is dwelling on the product detail page for quite some time after they click on it from a catalog search result, and then furthermore, if they add it to their cart or request a quote, this typically is a great indicator as juxtaposed with a scenario where they literally click on the link and within less than a second or 2 seconds, something like this, they go back to the search results, indicating that they probably didn't end up finding what they were looking for in that first product detail page. So we want to have a feedback loop so that the user is always prioritized so that their searches that they look for are associated with results that they dwell on and that they proceed through the process with. Now, this can be a multi-factor sort of neural network or AI ML type of optimization, or it can just be a simple, very, very basic type of optimization, depending on how you want to approach your product catalog. But make no mistake, your users are going to expect that your product catalog system and your marketplace e-commerce is going to be at the highest level of performance that's possible within your industry. And if it's possible for these products and offers to be available within very competitive, massive platforms, then you're probably going to need to compete at least with the core offerings of those bigger platforms. So we encourage you to think about some of the big things that are happening in your industry and the overall industry. And within the product catalog, this has to be one of the most important aspects of your marketplace e-commerce platform. People need to be able to go and search and complete a fuzzy search, be able to filter and drill down. They need to be able to quickly visually understand what the results are and be able to find items that they're actually going to want to purchase or make a request for quote on. Now, as always, there's a lot more detail that we can go into. We provide a lot of complementary resources that we hope will help you explore this topic more and identify specific value points for your business, for your marketplace e-commerce journey ahead. Please feel free to take a look at those next. Thanks for watching this video on marketplace e-commerce. In this particular edition, we went into quite a bit of detail. However, we want you to know that we have complementary resources that you can download for free that give you a summary and a cheat sheet on key aspects of marketplace e-commerce. In particular, we go into quite a bit of detail around a checklist. It can be really helpful when upfront planning for a marketplace e-commerce project. We also have go live steps and optimization steps around various different aspects of running the marketplace, making it self-service, setting up the governance rules, optimizing for organic SEO, performance, security tuning, and really the list goes on. We certainly encourage you to take a look at those links in the description. And as always, if you would like to, we encourage you to go to town on that like button. Certainly feel free to subscribe so you can get notifications about additional videos like this. And we'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks for watching and bye for now.